We are starting with the next chapter, that is measures of central tendency. So central tendency or measures of central tendency usually mean the three attributes. Those are mean, median, and mode. You've learned about mean and median in class 9. Mode is a new thing. Mode you're going to, of course it's not very difficult, but it is new for you. So you're going to learn about mode in this class. Let us first focus on part 1 of the chapter, that is based on mean for ungrouped or raw data, right? So the first one, the weight in kilograms of 5 persons are given: 67, 65, 71, 57, and 45. Find the arithmetic mean of their weights. Now the formula for mean is sum of all observations upon, sorry for that, I don't know where my line is going, again I will try, sum of all observations upon number of observations, right? So here, as we can see, there are 5 observations, 5 people are there, so 5 observations. So mean will be equal to 67 plus 65 plus 71 plus 57 plus 45, the whole upon number of observations. Number of observations is 5. Let's add and divide and get the answer. So 67 plus 65 plus 71 plus 57 plus 45. This is 305 divided by 5. 305 divided by 5, the answer is 61. Therefore, the mean, you have to write the final statement, the mean weight is 61 kg, right? Let's go to the next question. The mean weight of 15 boys is 43 kg. Let's write the situation over here. Mean weight of 15 boys is equal to 43 kg. Number of boys, of course, 15, right? Now what else they have given? This is one thing. That's one thing given to you. The other thing is, if 2 boys with weights 34 and 35 kg join them, find the new mean weight. Okay, so there are 2 new boys with the weight 34 kg and 35 kg. These are new boys, so new observations. New boys or new observations. So after these boys weighing 35 and 34 kg join them, what will be the new mean weight? Okay, now what is the formula for mean? Mean is equal to sum of all observations upon number of observations. We know that mean of 15 boys is 43 kgs. So 43 will be the mean. Sum of weights of all of 15 boys is not known, right? Number of observation or number of boys is 15. So therefore, sum of weights of 15 boys will be 15 into 43. What we are doing here, we are taking this 15 to the other side. It gets multiplied with 43. So 15 into 43 is 645. 645 kg. Now we know the sum of the weights of the 15 boys, and we also know that two new boys are joining them. So what will be the new sum? New sum will be 645 plus 34 plus 35. So 645 plus 34 plus 35 will be 714. It will be 714 kgs. Right? So this is the new sum. So what will be the new mean weight? So new mean is equal to new sum upon number of observations. So what is the new mean? We don't know what is the new mean, right? So new mean is equal to new sum, which is 714, divided by number of observations. See, now earlier there were 15 boys and two new boys joined. So now the total number of observation, number of boys becomes 17. Right? So 714 divide by 17. If you calculate, you will get 42 kgs. So new mean weight will be 42 kgs. Old mean weight was 43 kgs. The new mean is 42 kgs. So this is one technique which is going to be used in all the solved example which we are going to do. All the word problems of mean for ungrouped data, they usually have this technique that first you find the missing thing of this formula, that is either mean or sum of observation or number of observation. Once you find the missing thing, then apply the uh, condition which is said in the question, and then you find the missing thing, right? Let's see the third question. The mean of 40 numbers is 37.5. See again, number of observations is equal to 40, right? What is the mean? 37.5. What is the formula for mean? Mean is sum of all observations upon number of observations. So mean is given to you 37.5. Sum of all observations you don't know again. Number of observations is given to you 40. And therefore sum, without reading the question ahead, I'm just finding what is missing here. Sum of all observations will be 40 into 37.5, or 375 multiplied by 4, which is 1500. Right? So that's the sum of all observations. Now read the question ahead. If one of these numbers is taken as 53 instead of 35, find the correct mean. Now what happened is, if I had made a mistake in taking one of the number as 53 instead of 35, then what would be wrong out of this? Number of observations would be correct still, because in the place of 35 I have taken 53. Number of observation is not changing. Mean will change, so mean becomes incorrect, and sum of all observations will be incorrect. So rather than worrying about the correct mean, first I should correct the sum of all the observation. So correct sum of all observations, correct sum of all observations is equal to 1500, that is the earlier sum, minus 53, which is the mistake which I made in taking the numbers, plus 35. So what I'm doing is I'm subtracting the mistake from 1500, that is 53, and I'm adding the correct number, which was 35, which had to be taken. So 1482 is the correct sum. 1482 is the correct sum. Therefore, what will be the correct mean? The correct mean would be correct sum of all observations upon number of observations. So correct mean is equal to, correct sum is 1482 divided by 40. So if I divide 1482 by 40, I get 37.05. So there is no kg here, it's a mistake. It is just 37.05. This is the correct mean, right? So this is how you solve this question. I hope you are understanding this technique. Okay, fourth question. In a half-yearly examination of class 9th of a school, the mean marks scored by the boys is 52 and the mean marks scored by the girls is 48. Let me just write this down. Mean marks scored by boys is equal to 52 and mean marks scored by girls is equal to 48. If on the whole the mean marks of the class is 505, if on the whole the mean marks of the class is 505, so I will write mean marks of class is equal to 505. We don't know how many boys are there and how many girls are there. We just know their mean marks, and we know the mean marks of the whole class. Find the ratio of number of boys to the number of girls. So we have to find number of boys is to number of girls, their ratio, right? So let's see how to do it. Let the number of boys be X and number of girls be Y. ठीक है? Then mean marks scored by boys is equal to sum of all marks, all boys marks upon number of boys, right? So what are the mean marks scored by boys? 52 is equal to What is the sum of all marks, all boys' marks? We don't know. So sum of all boys' marks. We don't know this. And what are the number of boys which we have? X. We have taken the number of boys as X, right? So X. Therefore, sum of marks scored by boys is equal to 52x. Sum of the marks scored by boys is equal to 52x. Now what we are going to do is similar thing with the girls. Mean marks scored by girls is equal to sum of all girls marks the whole upon number of girls, right? So what is the mean marks scored by the girls? We'll see in the question. We have written here also 48. So mean marks scored by girls is equal to 48 is equal to sum of all girls marks the whole upon number of girls, which is y. Therefore, sum of all girls marks is equal to 48y. Now see what they have given. They have given that mean marks of the class is 505. Now mean marks of whole class. What will be the formula for mean marks of whole class? Total marks of boys plus girls upon total number of students, right? So mean marks scored by the whole class it cannot be 505, yeah. It can be 50.5. There is a mistake here. This should be 50.5. I don't have the textbook. That's a bad thing here. But still, because the class is average, cannot be 505, right? So 50.5, I'm going to take and solve it. If it is incorrect at all, you understand the method, okay? So 50.5 is equal to, what is the total marks of boys and girls? See, total marks of boys was 52x plus total marks of girls was 48y. And what is the total number of students? X plus y. Why x plus y? Because total number of boys is x and total number of girls is y. Right? So we are just going to solve this and simplify this. 50.5. Let me write it here. 50.5 bracket x plus y is equal to 52x plus 48y. So 50.5 x plus 50.5y is equal to 52x plus 48y. Okay, so what is it going to be? 50.5y minus 48y is equal to 52x minus 50.5x. Okay, see, 50 minus 48 is 2, right? But 50.5 minus 48 is 1.5y. right? 52 minus 50.5. 52 minus 50.5. See, 52 minus 50 is 2, but 52 minus 50.5 is 1.5x again, right? So x is equal to y, and therefore the ratio of boys to girls is 1 is to 1. That is the final answer. Now I don't know whether my answer is correct or not. Let me check here in the question. No, the answer is 5 is to 3. See, the problem is there is a typing error over here. If it is, if the mean, if on the whole the mean marks of the class is 50, then it could have been. Let's check whether the mean marks are 50 or not. If at all I take the mean marks as 50, nothing is going to change over here, right? What is going to change? Over here, this equation is going to change. So 50 x 50y minus 48y is equal to 52x minus 50x. Again, it's coming the same thing. So it's not 50 as well. What if it is 55? Can it be 55? I don't know. So see, the method is in front of you. This question is solved, but the answer did not match because there is a mistake in the mean marks of the class. Hey, wait, I might have uh, the PDF file of the same. Let me check. Uh, yes, so one second. So that is question number 4. Hey, it's 50.5. So I made a mistake maybe. No, how come? 50.5, excuse me for all this mess. Okay, but everything is correct over here, nothing is wrong. Let me just figure out all over again. 50.5y minus 48y. So 50 minus 48 is 2, but 50.5, oh, 50.5 minus 48, it's my mistake. I'm extremely sorry for this. This is 2.5. It cannot be 1.5. I'm sorry for all this. It's my mistake. It's my mistake. So this is 2.5y is equal to 1.5x. So 2.5 upon 1.5 is equal to x by y. So which is equal to 25 by 15. 5 5s are 5 3s are. So the answer is 5 is to 3, which matches with our answer. It is my mistake, silly mistake in subtraction. Everything was correct, but that 505 kind of gave me that confusion from beginning, from the midway maybe. But yeah, the method is absolutely perfect, and we finally got our answer. Okay, let's look at our next question, right? Just a moment, I'll have some water. Okay, so the next question is, using direct method, find the mean of the following frequency distribution. Now this is an ungrouped frequency distribution. You see this x over here, these are all the observations: 5, 15, 25, 35, 45. And you see F over here, these are all the frequencies. Or the observation 5 is repeated or occurs 14 times. So its frequency is 14. The observation 15 occurs 16 times. That's why its frequency is 16. And 20 is the frequency of 25, 30 is the frequency of 35, and 20 is the frequency of 45. Right? So that's how you understand this table. This is ungrouped frequency distribution table. Why ungrouped? Ungrouped because there are no groups or class intervals here, such as 5 to 10, 10 to 15. You must be familiar with this. We did this last year, 15 to 20 and so on, right? So we are going to talk about the grouped frequency distributions and what kind of group data is there. It is uh, continuous class intervals or discontinuous. Uh, we actually talked about it a little bit in while drawing the histogram, but again it's going to come to use in part 2. So this is part 1. We have to find the mean of the following frequency distribution by using direct method. Now something called direct method has to be used. So while using direct method or wherever you have to use direct method, how you will come to know that you have to use direct method? First thing they will mention in the question that you use direct method. And if they don't mention, then also you can use direct method. But the only disadvantage of direct method is there are too many calculations. Too many calculations. So you might make some silly mistakes while doing calculations. That's the only disadvantage. So it's up to you whether you want to use direct method or some other method if it is not mentioned in the question. But if it is mentioned direct method, then you have to use direct method. So what is this direct method? In direct method, first understand the layout of the table over here. This layout of the table is very, very important. It is going to change with the method. There are total three methods. Three methods to find mean. Okay, there are three methods to find mean. First one is direct method, which we are going to use in this question. Second is shortcut method. Third one is step deviation method. In some books, this shortcut method is also referred to as assumed mean method. Okay, in some books they mention shortcut method as assumed mean method. But generally we deal with three methods, that is direct method, shortcut or assumed mean method, and step deviation method. Why three methods to find the mean? As I told you, the biggest disadvantage of direct method is too many calculations. As you go ahead with these methods, the calculations become smaller and smaller. You don't have to do many calculations, but the method becomes more and more big, elaborate. So here the method is very small. There are just three columns. As you can see, this is column number 1, column number 2, column number 3. What are these columns? The first column is xi. What is xi? Xi means observation. In your book, in Selena textbook, they might write it as x. I have written as xi because some books they follow this convention of writing xi. Okay. The second column is fi. Fi means frequency. The third column is the product of xi and fi. Xi fi. In your book, they might say xf or fx. It's the same thing. right? So I have written in the first column, I have written all the observations, that is 5, 15, 25, 35, 45. In the in the second column, I have written all the frequencies 14, 16, 20, 30, 20. Now in the third column, what we have to do is we have to multiply the observation with respective frequency. So the second multiplication will be 15 into 16. 15 into 16 is 240. So I will write this 240 over here. Then 25 into 20, 500. Then 35 into 30, 1050. I hope so. Let me just recheck. 35 into 30, 1050. Correct. 45 into 20, 900. Now we have to add them up. So 70 plus 240 plus 500 plus 1050 plus 900. 70 plus 240 plus 500 plus 1050 plus 900 is 2760, right? This will be 2760. Here you have to add all the frequencies. You see what they have written over here? Sigma Fi, sigma Fi Xi. You know this sigma, this is a Greek letter. Sigma. Sigma. Okay. It means summation. Summation means addition. Okay, these are all the scribblings which I'm doing here on the right of your screen. They are just for your knowledge. So even if you know uh, that what is direct method to find the mean and everything, uh, to listen to this extra commentary which I'm giving here, it might be useful for you, because this is the extra knowledge which you are gaining, right? So don't skip through the video. uh, See, it's very easy when this kind of situation is there. Either your school teacher is taking live lectures where students are least bothered, least interested, and they are just chatting on the sides, and they are just having fun, or they are just listening like, okay, khatam kar lo jaldi yaar, मुझे नींद आ रही है. Yeah, so that kind of thing goes on generally. It's very easy to pass time, in this way. People may not even look at my YouTube videos and just breeze through and do the exercise somehow and copy it from somewhere and finish off with it, but that's not going to help you. Okay, so just listen to this commentary which I'm giving side by side, whatever notes I'm writing here. This might be useful for you, right, for the long run. So sigma is a Greek letter which means summation or addition. Sigma Fi Xi means sum of all product of Xi and Fi. And sigma Fi is sum of all the frequencies, right? So what are the frequencies? 14 plus 16 plus 20 plus 30 plus 20. 14 plus 16, 30 plus 20, 50 plus 30, 80 plus 20, 100. Okay, so this will be 100. But here I think I have made a mistake. Some mistake is there because the answer is not correct. So 70 plus, I will recheck, 240 plus 500 plus 1050 plus 900. It is 2760. So perhaps some mistake in calculation. 14 fives are, okay, perhaps some mistake in printing the answer, because everything is correct over here. So anyways, sigma, so this is the formula for mean for direct method. Sigma Fi Xi upon sigma Fi. Remember the formula. For direct method, this is the formula for finding mean. What is sigma fi xi? 2760. What is sigma fi? 100. 0 cut. The answer will be 27.60. Right? Not 5060. If it is 50, actually, just see what is my mistake. In calculation, if I made some mistake, please correct it yourself. When you are doing it, do it the correct way. Right? So that is the direct method for finding the mean of ungrouped frequency distribution which has been given to us. So that is the first method. Let's go to the next question. Question number 6. Okay, here what they have given here is the weight of 25 students of a class are given in the following table. So let us write the weight, that is xi, that is the observation, 65, 66, 67, 68 and 69. The frequencies 8, 6, 4, 4, 3. Now I already know what is sigma fi. See, it is given in the question itself. The weight of 25 students. Still I will add and check. 8 plus 6, 14 plus 4, 18 plus 4, 22 plus 3, 25. So sigma fi is already given. Now what you have to find, this is very important. See, I should have told you, this is the second question and we are not using direct method. So the method which we are using here is shortcut method. Don't go by the name, shortcut method or assumed mean method. Shortcut method or assumed mean method. What is different in this method? There are 4 columns in the table. 1, 2, 3 and 4. How many columns were there in the direct method? In the direct method, there were 3 columns. In shortcut method, 1 column increases. But what was the disadvantage of direct method? Too many calculations. Suppose if these numbers xi and fi were large, then multiplying these large numbers and then adding them, it's too much of work. So in that case, see here the numbers are large. So in this case, if we use shortcut method, then the task will become easier. So the next thing in shortcut method, after making the table, understanding the columns and all, what is this third column say? Di. Di is equal to xi minus a. What is a? Xi is the observation. But what is a? A means assumed mean. A means assumed mean. Okay, that's why this method is also known as assumed mean method. So what you have to do, out of all these observations which has been given to you, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, you have to choose one of the number in the middle of the observations. So there are total 5 observation. In the middle there is third observation. So this will be assumed mean. Now some smart people might have this question that if there are 6 observation or even number of observations, then which observation should be taken as assumed mean? So if there were 6 observation, you could take the any one of the middle observation, that is third or fourth, as the assumed mean, right? So that case comes, and that will come in our lesson. So when I solve that kind of example where assumed mean has to be chosen over even number of observations or class intervals, I'm going to point it out and tell you. Here the assumed mean is 67. So what you have to do is you have to subtract the observation from the assumed mean. So suppose this is the first row. In the first row, I'm going to subtract 67 from 65. So what is 65 minus 67? Minus 2. Again over here what I am going to do is 66 minus 67. What is 66 minus 67? Minus 1. Then 67 minus 67. This will be 0. Then 68 minus 67. This will be 1. Then 69 minus 67. This will be 2. So I got these DIs. These are known as DIs or deviations. These are also known as deviations. Okay. So I got all the deviation. Now I have to multiply these deviations with the frequencies. So 8 into minus 2. FIDI, right? So FI is 8, DI is minus 2. 8 into minus 2 is minus 16. 6 into minus 1 minus 6. 4 into 0 is 0. 4 ones are 4 and 3 twos are 6. See, so easy the calculation has become. Now I have to add all FIDIs. So 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 minus 6 is 4 and 4 minus 16 is minus 12. The calculations have been reduced to a larger extent. Yeah, right? You don't have to do any multiplications. You can almost orally you can find the answer. So that is the benefit of this shortcut or assumed mean method. Just imagine how the third method is going to be. That is step deviation method. There are going to be more elaborate steps, but the calculations will reduce to a very large extent, right? So mean, the formula for mean for shortcut or assumed mean method is A. What is A? A was 67 plus sigma FIDI. Sigma FIDI is minus 12 upon sigma FI. Sigma FI is 25. Right? Just calculate this. So 12 divided by 25 is 0.48. So this is going to be minus 0.48. So 67 minus 0.48 and 67 minus 0.48 is 66.52. 66.52 should be our correct answer of the mean. Let's check. 66.52 is correct, right? So I hope you have understood what is shortcut method. Just understand the layout of the table. That is most important. I took a lot of time for preparing this video because I had to make this table ready before I could start the video with the questions, of course. So I wanted the question in front of you and the layout of the table, and then I wanted to show you properly so that you remember for a longer duration, right? You should remember it up to your board's exam. And if any doubts, you can just rewatch the videos all over again and you will understand the topic like fresh, right? Let's go to the next question. Okay, using the step deviation method. So here is our third and the final method of finding mean, that is step deviation method. To find the mean of following frequency distribution, let's write the x's, that is your x, that is your observations. 10, 30, 50, 70, 90, 110. Frequencies 135, 187, 240, 273, 124, 151. Now, if somebody tells me, please find the mean by direct method, I will not do it because just look at the numbers. How big are these numbers? If I would multiply and then add them, I would take a lot of time. It's better that I would use a longer method but with less calculation. So in step deviation method, as you can see, the layout has changed. The table has changed. Now how many columns are there in the table? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Right? The number of column has been increasing. In direct method, there were 3 columns. Shortcut method, 4 columns. And step deviation method, there are 5 columns. So as you can see, the third column is di is equal to xi minus a. Deviation. First, you have to assume one observation as a assumed mean, the middle one. Now there are 6 observations. I just told in the previous question, what if there are even number of observation, and that case is in front of us now. So as you can see, both these observations are the middle ones. The third one is the middle one, and also the fourth one is the middle one, right? So if the third and the fourth both observations are the middle one, then which one to choose as the assumed mean? So as I told you earlier, you can choose any one of these two as assumed mean, and that will not affect your answer. Your answer would still be the same. So you can take 70 as assumed mean or 50 as assumed mean. Let us take 70 as assumed mean. Okay. Okay, so we are going to take 70 as our assumed mean. Okay, so we have to find the deviations. Now deviations is xi minus a. So what is 10 minus 70? Directly I am going to write, not everything over here, just directly the answer. 10 minus 70, not 70 minus 10, because we have xi minus a, observation minus assumed mean. So 10 minus 70 is minus 60, 30 minus 70 is minus 40, then 50 minus 70 is minus 20, 70 minus 70 is 0, 90 minus 70 is 20, and 110 minus 70 is 40. Now we have to find t, that is the fourth column. What is t? T is xi minus a by I, or di by I. So what is I over here? Please remember, I is equal to class width. Okay, we don't have class width because we are dealing with ungrouped frequency distribution. So I is the biggest number. I is equal to biggest number which can divide all di's. So if you see all the di's over here, 60, 40, 20, 0, 20, 40, which is the biggest divisor of all of them. So if you find their highest common factor, it is nothing but 10, right? Or something else. No, 20. Yes, 20 is the number, the biggest number which can divide all the di's. So I'm going to take I as 20. So what is minus 60 by 20? Minus 3. So simply I'm dividing di by I. Okay, and I have just chosen it randomly, which is the biggest number which can divide all the di's. So 60 by 20, minus 60 by 20 is minus 3, minus 40 by and remember that I is 20. So minus 40 by 20 is minus 2, minus 20 by 20 is minus 1, 0 by 20 is 0, 20 by 20 is 1, and 40 by 20 is 2. Now you have to multiply all the frequencies with your t, right? So first is 135 into minus 3, which is minus 405, just right over here. Then it is 187 into minus 2. 187 into minus 2 is minus 374. Then it is 240 into minus 1, minus 240. Then 273 into 0, 0. Then 124 into 1, 124. And 151 into 2, that is 302. So what is the next step? Next step is we have to add and find sigma fi. All the frequencies we have to add and find sigma fi and sigma ft, right? So we have to find the sum of second column and the fifth column. First the second column, so that is 135 plus 187 plus 240 plus 273 plus 124 plus 151. So it comes out to be 1110. Okay, 1110. Okay, let's find what is the sum of the fifth column. Minus 405 minus 374 minus 240 plus 124 plus 302. So it comes out to be minus 593. Minus 593. You can also check, add, see whether I'm making any mistakes or not. The method is absolutely going to be the same. If I'm making a calculation mistake, my answer is going to differ. So let's hope I'm not doing any silly mistakes here. Okay, so this is the formula for mean for step deviation method. A plus sigma ft upon sigma fi into I. I is your biggest divisible number, HCF, you can say, of all the DIs, which is 20. So what is the assumed mean? Assumed mean is 70, right? Plus what is sigma ft? Minus 593 upon what is sigma fi? 1110 multiplied by what is I? I is the biggest number which can divide all the DIs, which is nothing but 20, right? Let us find this out. So minus 593 divide by 1110, that is minus 0.53, minus 0.53, okay, multiplied by 20, that is minus 10.6. So this is going to be minus 10.6, and 70 minus 10.6, 70 minus 10.6 is going to be 59.4. This is the mean. Method is longer, but calculations are still simpler. 59.32 they are getting, I am getting 59.4. So there must be some rounding off which we have done in the calculations over here or somewhere, which has got this difference. But the difference is not very large. If in exam you are getting this kind of difference, it is always allowed and you are getting marks, okay, because the difference comes after decimal point, right? So your mean is correct and the method is absolutely clear now. There are 5 columns, so you've learned all the 3 methods of finding the mean. Okay, so let's go ahead before we hit the 1 hour mark for the video. Great. So the next question is about finding a missing frequency. And as you can see, the table is ready in front of you. It is, the method is of direct mean, right? So what they are saying is, if the mean of the following distribution is 7.5, find the missing frequency. They've already given the mean. The mean is 7.5. Okay, let us fill up this table. The variable means your observations are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The frequencies are 20, 17, F, Please pay attention on this question. This is going to be a little tricky for you. 10, the next frequency is 10, then 8, then 6, then 7, and then 6 again. Let us right away find sigma. Let us right away find xi fi. So xi 5, fi 20, 5 into 20 is 100, 17 6. Okay, let's do 17 6. 102. I'm just confirming these answers in calculator. You are not allowed to use any calculators, okay? I'm doing it because I don't want to make any mistakes, right? Also, I have limited time on the video. I can't go on calculating things and make it more boring for you. Next thing, 7 into f, 7f. 8 into 10, 80. 9 8s are 72. 60, 77, 72. Great. So we have got all the values. The table is filled. Now let us find what is sigma fi. Okay, sigma fi. 20 plus 17, 37. 37 plus 10, 47. 47 plus 8, 47 plus 8 is 55. 55 plus 6 is 61. 61 plus 7, 68 plus 6, 68 plus 6 is 74, and there is one f which I did not add, so it is 74 plus f. Okay, f cannot be added, it's a variable, so 74 plus f. What about here? 102. 100 plus 102, 202. 202 plus 80 is 282. 282 plus 72. Let me just use my calci. 282 plus 72 is 354 plus 60 plus 77 plus 72. Okay, so I'm getting, I'll just recheck with you. 202 plus 80 is 282 plus 72 plus 60 plus 77 plus 72 is 563 plus 7f, right? So I write over here 563 plus 7f. 7f cannot be added with any of the numbers, so it is written like that. Now which formula for mean we have to use? The same classic formula for direct method, that is sigma fi xi upon sigma fi. Okay, so what is the formula for mean? Sigma fi xi, which is 563 plus 7f upon sigma fi, that is 74 plus f. And I already know the mean, right? What is the mean? 7.5. So let me write 7.5 over here. Okay, this 74 plus f will be multiplied with it, and 563 plus 7f will remain over here. So what we are getting over here is 74 multiplied by 7.5, which is 555, plus 7.5f is equal to 563 plus 7f. Okay, so 7.5f minus 7f is equal to 563 minus 555. So 0.5f is equal to 8, and f is equal to 8 upon 0.5, which is 80 by 5, which is 16. So the missing frequency is 16, and absolutely correct answer we have got over here, right? I hope you have understood the method. Just be careful about not adding the f and the term with the f when you take sigma fi xi and sigma fi xi. The missing frequency variable should not be added, and then just put it in the formula of direct mean and you should get the answer, right? So that was not, that was not part one. Still one more question is left. Let's do this one more question. Find the value of P if the mean of the following distribution is 20. So mean is given to us 20. We have to find the value of P. Let us fill the table first. Xi or observations 15, 17, 19, 20 plus P. That's one of the observation in 23. The frequencies 6, 9, 12, 15p. You have to find the value of p, okay? 15p and 18. So xifi right away, 15 6 are 90, okay? 17 9s are 153, 19 12s are 19 12s is 228, 15p bracket 20 plus p. I will leave it as it is, okay? Because this is anyways not going to add with any other term. 23 into 18, 23 multiplied by 18 is 414. Okay, so we have to find mean with the formula of sigma fi upon sigma fi, right? So what is sigma fi? Sum of all the uh, numbers in the third column. Okay, so we have got 90 over here plus 153 plus 228 plus 414. Okay, so that's 885 plus I've got 15p bracket 20 plus p, 15p bracket 20 plus p, okay, upon, let us add all the sigma fi's. So 6 plus 9 15 plus 12 27 plus 18, 27 plus 8 is 35 plus 10 is 45. So 45 plus 15p. 15p will not be added with any of the numbers. So what is the mean? They have given the mean, that is 20. Okay, let's solve this further. So 20 bracket 45 plus 15p is equal to 885 plus 15p bracket 20 plus p. So 20 multiplied by 45 is 900 plus 20 multiplied by 15 is 300p is equal to 885 plus 300p, 15p into 20 again 300p plus 15p square. Whoa, we've got a p square over here. Anyways, 300p gets cut. 900 minus 885 is equal to 15p square. 900 minus 885 is 15. Yes, upon 15 is equal to p square. P square is equal to 1, and therefore p is equal to 1, right? So the value of p comes out to be 1, and this is the method for it. Okay, so we have completed the part 1. Now you can see that it is not a small chapter. All the questions are lengthy, they take time to complete, and you also have to learn many new things, new methods for finding mean. Calculations can be there, they can be tricky, right? And of course the word problems can be tricky. So these are the all things which we have done today. So I'm going to just upload this video now. It's late, but I'll upload it. I'll probably upload one more today and then the rest tomorrow, right? So see you in the next video. Bye bye.